Good morning, everybody. This is the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know where my phone went. I think it was it was a new holiday. Let's see. I don't know how new. Native American Heritage or Native American Heritage Day. Why is there only a day? It should be like more than that. I don't know if that's a federal holiday. So this month of November, we only have a few days left. So 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, so 6. We got first day of American Indian Heritage Month. And then Daylight Savings Time on the 6th, Election Day on the 8th, Veterans Day on the 11th, Thanksgiving on the 24th, and Native American on the 25th. And then for December, it looks like we have Christmas Eve, Christmas, looks like Christmas Monday, and then New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day on January, Substitute on Monday Day, MLK Jr. on the 16th. Yeah, there's something on that. Why is there something on the 26th? Let's see what that is. That's just my calendar is. And then first day of Black History Month, which I think is lame that it's the shortest month. I mean, come on, you guys. This blatant. This 12 months, and you put us on the shortest month. Like, come on, really? I mean, it's obvious. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know, but we used to celebrate stuff. So we didn't do any holiday dinner. I have been eating mushrooms from the free/expired bread place, which I cannot eat bread. So once in a while they have something I could eat. I finally got a stomach ache last night. Probably from eating something before it was ready, or maybe eating stuff that had too much oil, olive oil. I don't know what. So this wearing white after Labor Day, I went to grab in the dark something to wear, and I had thought it was the t-shirt with the pattern, but instead it's this camisole with the shelf bra top. I'm going to say likely from Kohls, but I'm not sure. It's very highly likely. The bra shelves are pretty expensive compared to the regular camisoles, and then I remember when I used to like tank tops with the actual the ribbed tank tops used to be my thing for many years. So I don't know, that stuff is super expensive. I mean, who wants to go buy just a regular sleeveless, like in my mind, an undershirt for $17 at Kohls? You know, like I don't know, like even if it's a little bit cheaper, it's gonna be like $15. So what are the prices right now of stuff? I don't know. So the only thing that I was looking to get was a pack of yellow legal pads from Walmart, but I don't even think I'm gonna do it. We got a bunch of regular notebooks. I know that's not my favorite color to do my work on, but I did get a pack of paper. So we're gonna start by posting the last video that I did so that you guys have the videos. Let me make it a separate tab. Okay. So I'm waiting for my computer. It's like something's all frozen up. Oh, I see some ads trying to pop through. So I felt pretty good because my weight went down to 177. It's hard to see on the scale. It's a really old scale, which I like. It's a manual. I call everything manual. It's an analog, a non-electric. I have an electric one too. This one is a healthometer or something like that. It's classic. I really like it. My computer is frozen, so I don't even know if the video is coming through. Hold on. Frozen. Looks like the time's still ticking. There we go. So I feel like maybe these ads are popping up on all these web pages that I had open already. I'm just gonna bring my glasses cleaner. So it's 6:38 a.m. I did have a stomach ache. I slept. Didn't make any juice. I forgot I was sick. It's a good thing to forget. Um, you ever get sick and then you wake up, like your voice is scratchy, you don't think about it. And my tongue was swollen. I was eating this salad dressing. I'm gonna just be done with that salad dressing today. And then I end up, I want to just throw out 5 p.m. I start feeling real groggy and tired. You're like, oh, I'm starting to feel better. Like, oh, it's, you know. And then it's like, oh, I feel like you gotta go to bed 5 hours earlier because you're just like done, you know. Okay, so we're gonna go to create, upload, and I should have done something yesterday. I'm not sure I did. So I do 100% raw food, so I don't recommend any diet to anyone unless they're my patient, and I don't recommend that. I had extreme allergies that no one was addressing, and I did my own elimination diet, but I was already symptomatic, and the first time I heard about elimination diet was in, well, there's a book that my mom had on the shelf in the 80s. I don't know if it's from the 70s or the 80s, and I read it. I rebought it in 2000. I don't know. I rebought the book. I don't even know how I found it, and maybe on eBay. I rebought the book before I got clean and sober, and I was only like 115 pounds, 120. I was really underweight. I mean, let's see. Let me look at the dates. 20. I don't even see the date on this. 22. 11/22. I thought one of these I was going to delete. I don't know what happened. Oh shoot, you know, I usually change the name. No, I'm gonna change the name. I'm just gonna say 11/22. 22. Let me check that. I don't know if this is the one, because I can't even see my clothing. So one of them I had to delete. I hope I deleted it. I think I did, because it was 1 gigabyte for 15 minutes. I'm gonna turn on the captions. I don't know if, I feel like they should automatically come on. I'm gonna put the English American. Okay. And we don't need a certificate. It's not been on TV or whatever. And I'll just check these boxes and make it public, and I'll move on. I would like to go and change the name. So 34 minutes left. I would like to change the name, but I don't know if I can do that right now. Let me go back, because I don't really want anybody to get snippets of it. See if I could find them. Not made for kids, not age restricted, not a paid promotion. Allow automated places. That's creeping me out. knocked out. Alright, so let's go back to the final page. No, yeah, I definitely feel sick now. So, I felt this real depression Wednesday and Thursday because of the fact that it was super lonely and super just depressing, and I was trying to get some work done and I was getting distracted by this drama, and I was trying to listen to my meeting. My counseling session, I had counseling Zoom and physical therapy Zoom. I've been sick. I did a COVID test Tuesday. The test card was expired, but the regular part wasn't, and I don't know. I mean, there's a reason there's an expiration date on it. The liquid wasn't expired, I don't think. The liquid was one you had to squeeze it in. The swab was not expired, so I guess if you guys have those kits and you can't use them, you could save the stuff that's not expired. My leg is hurting, so I did one of my yearly or holiday, walks yesterday, which is a very short walk. It was a parking lot. I was going to use the Porter John, but the whole time I was there, it was in the red and not in the green, so I didn't even try to knock on the door to see if there was actually someone in there. So that's my thing that kind of ends me coming back home. But me and my partner may plan a little bit or not, and usually we're both working every day since we've been together, working, exhausted, old. I don't know how people my age, 46, and his age, older than me, I don't know how you guys are doing it unless you really are getting paid your worth and you're able to have more than 0 to 1 days off a week, and your job is not grueling on your body and or your mind. I'm used to doing this work that's not janitorial. I've done janitorial work actually, just like that, like janitorial work and the food demos. You gotta push these heavy cars and grab stuff and climb up on step stools and be up in the ceiling and all this, plugging in toaster oven extension cords, the toaster oven, like all this stuff at the Pizza Hut where the daytime managers have all of the staff and hardly any sales, and the nighttime people have all the sale. I mean, there's a lot of people ordering from 3 till close, till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whenever, midnight, whenever you close, and you got this big flux right at closing time. So when the manager claimed to shut the restaurant 2 minutes after closing, having cashed out everything and this and that, that didn't ever happen to me. It might happen where I coughed out 30 minutes, but it would have been a slow day. Something else is going on. People weren't eating pizzas, and there's all types of people. You got any class and race and income level. You got kids' parties, pool parties. You got gamers, late night people, all that stuff. So it's how do you guys? So some people I know that was older than me working there. Some people one person I know that was older was doing go home, rest. A couple of people, some were, when I say one was in their 20s and one was probably in their 60s. The younger person would go home and play games all night. I mean, it's already night, it's morning, till morning, and I got sleep, and then get ready for work. The other person came home in their chair and ate and watched the news or what they like to watch, and then go on to work and sleep. I think they had a spouse that fed them before work, so they got their dinner or their lunch or breakfast, whatever you want to call it, and then could shower and get in, do the work, that really helps if you have a person who stays at home or works part-time and you have someone to help you so that you can sleep, get out, brush your teeth, take a shower, get dressed, and go. Like, you eat instead of having to spend all the time cooking and cleaning the dishes and the laundry and all that, and then having the days off where people would just sleep and veg. And some of these jobs we were working, I was working multiple jobs, 20 hours a day literally. I had somebody, and we're supposed to be getting tips as managers, and they'll be like, we want to tip the driver, you didn't do anything, but you don't get the tips from the driver, so you compensate for someone else. When the drivers, you get the pizza ready, they grab the bag, they go. A lot of times you help them put the napkins and forks. The person who's a cook or the man, if there's no, I rarely had to cook. Usually the manager should have a cook so the manager can cut the food, answer the people at the door, and answer 4 phone lines, take orders. And then you had to prep the next day's pizzas and then another set of the next day's, which we had like 500 of one and who knows, incountable number of the others. It was a nightmare. And when I was assistant manager, you had to do inventory. Everything in that place had to be counted, including like the forks, the packets of red pepper, every dough, every bag of chicken, every sauce, every box of vegetables, mushrooms, peppers, all that stuff, everything. The parsley that we sprinkled on your stuff. I don't remember what we used the parsley for, but we had real parsley, like McCormick brand, like you have at home or whatever, or Walmart. We had to count all the spices, oh my gosh, that's something I dreaded. Every dessert. You don't just say you count boxes of unopened stuff. You have unopened stuff, you have thawing stuff. You need to count the cheese, how many pounds of cheese. And if your thing was off, it would like flag everything. Like, you couldn't have gone through 300 pounds of cheese in 2 days. Like, anyways, I just got on a tangent with that. So there was people that would work, and you're supposed to get tips, and people would either tip or not tip. And if you're a manager, you're supposed to get tips at the front counter. Because you're taking the order, you're doing all the special things. We want it well done, we want it underdone, we want this, we want that. Like, we're not allowed to sell it underdone. We can sell it like late and not burn up and this and this and this. Smiling. Here's your order. Keeping it warm. And that takes effort. You could just let it sit out in the oven and just barely slap it around, not wash your hands and cut it. You get tips and you're happy, you're nice, you want to do a good job, you're wash your hands frequently. You think about that. There's people that just go overboard behind the scenes and you come in and it looks like they just grab it and give it to you as though there's a bunch of people in the back helping. No. Some places there are, but where I was and the way my supervisor did the schedule, stacked it up so that the other managers got all the help and they'd be standing around chatting about nothing I don't even want to talk about what they were chatting about because it could be a little bit stigmatized. But anyway, imagine doing that and someone can't even give you $1. Or they fussing at when the price went up last time. Oh, well, I got this 60% off discount. I'm not going to just tell everybody. You need to ask next time. Oh, 60%, okay. And then you're like, you're just giving them, they're paying with $100 bill and you're giving them, that's the worst, and you're giving them back. Like, oh, I can't really break that. Oh, come on now. So you go and dig around in the drawer. Oh, you're lucky. We happen to get a 50 and a couple of 20s cash today. So normally we'd have to say no. And you're giving him that, and you're giving him a stack of ones. And they can't even give you $1. You're giving them change. They can't even give you 50 cents. Like, are you kidding me? And like, they're not going to be nice. It's not that I'm not going to wash my hands and keep their food warm and make it perfect and don't skimp on the cheese. It's like, I'm not going to offer you coupons. For sure. Cheapskate. When you do that, the pizza place gets their money. They get their $6 or $12 for the pizza, and they get their customer coming back. But the people that do the work to make the CEOs rich, they don't get their money. They're getting $12, $13, $14 an hour, which basically is because of minimum wage requiring that they pay that much. So you think about, wait staff and people, like, I don't know what people that do barista, like, sometimes you go to a place and all you do is like, I want this water, and you don't want to give them a tip. Like, they didn't even make a drink, they didn't put together a sandwich, they didn't give me any condiments or any straws. You just be like, how many other people before that said, hey, I'm not going to tip because this is not a waiter at a table? But again, a lot of times the wait staff is not cooking and preparing and staying up all night preparing and cutting vegetables and saying, here's what I did when I was driving, or when I was managing. I had to drive too. So I had to get my car insured. So, yeah, as a manager, I had to be a driver. You don't drive all the time, you don't get tipped. You're not as chipper because you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. The drivers can be like, hey, I'm going to take a break. Like, what's that, really? But they didn't give us breaks. And you have, so paying extra insurance and all this stuff, you end up being happy if you get a tip at all. People are, I told myself, when I was homeless, a lot of people were on welfare. They were ordering pizzas every day, ordered food, takeout. They were on some kind of welfare that I was not. And they had got to stay home and watch soap operas and play with their kids. And their kids would go to school and preschool, and they'd have the day to themselves to clean their house and play and shop and do all this stuff that I couldn't do. Even if they didn't have cars or teeth and they could ride the bus. But they got it. They had it. People had it made. So I said, if I'm paying $15 for a pizza for my kids and I can't afford a $2 tip or whatever, then I'm not going to get the pizza. You go to the freaking store and you get yourself frozen. And a lot of times we didn't even have a oven, literally. So you would end up I don't know what, getting deli food. Welfare worker told me to get chicken and for my kids and sandwiches from Safeway Deli. The first time we were forced to get welfare because the homeless shelter said you have to go to DHS and you have to get on the services, or you're getting kicked out you're going to be homeless for real, like on the street homeless, not in a shelter homeless. There's a lot of people that, so trying to watch Panda photographer yesterday. I think it's called The Panda Photographer. So the Macy's Day Parade, his application for the journalist or the photographer didn't work, so he couldn't get into the thingy. So, or he got escorted into the place to take pictures, but then they kicked him out because he didn't have the credentials. So I felt sorry for him because I did put a notification to watch to help support the channel, and I thought it would be good to not have all the chitter chatter talking of the I call it sports broadcasters. But they kicked him out, and a different police officer that didn't escort him kicked him out. So I just feel really, it's hard when stuff like that happens to people, and it's your livelihood at stake. You're doing things for your customers, and I have that with my businesses where I'm not getting paid sometimes at all, hundreds of dollars of work, and then the people are like, you need to keep working for us, or the customers aren't the people responsible for the payment, or they're indirectly responsible. So if it's like a loan signing and they paid a $500 fee for the loan signing agent, and they were trying to pay me $70, and then I go do the work or do this, or something weird happens because the documents are wrong, which I discovered, then they don't give me a penny. It's like, I should at least get a $50 print charge. Like, and I schedule appointments two weeks in advance sometimes and had them given to someone else. Just stupid stuff like that. People are nickel and diming. Like, they're using you as a really good person to be able to get the documents so that in a day or a month or 3 weeks, they're not saying, hey, all these documents were declined. Everything's wrong. I don't want that on my shoulders. I am not the one who drew up the documents. The banks, the lenders, the title companies, with the signing people are supposed to scrutinize and check everything, send it on a notary, and then if it gets denied and the house loan falls through or this or that, then it's on me. I have to carry the insurance. And then you have the audacity to have me correct. I'm not allowed to correct, but I can call and say the name doesn't match up with the name on the driver's license. The birthday, the dates are wrong on the document. Oh, well, we'll get that straightened out. It's like, oh, I printed everything. Sometimes the customer doesn't give you the picture. They'll say, hey, is your name, blah, 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 John Doe? And we say, yeah. And you find out they're John Doe the Third or something. And you're trying to ask for their driver's license. They're busy. You print the papers out because your appointment's in 2 hours. And it's an hour and a half drive. And you're like, I don't have time. I either take a chance and print the 300 or 400 pages. And like, who's going to want to print for 300 or 400 pages? Just clear out their schedule. Don't get tickets to the circus and all the stuff that you want to do. And then have the signing service say, oh yeah, we'll have to reschedule. So where's my print fee? Where's my this? We don't have it. And then they used to pay $150 for the 400 pages, and now they want to pay you $35. And then because they were desperate, they bumped it up to like 60. Well, it's in the same town, I'll do it. And then you get 60, and then you got somebody else in the neighborhood doing it for 25. You do realize that there's people that will print this crap at work. Like they'll literally use their employer's stuff to print on the professional printer, or maybe even scan it at their job. So of course they're gonna take it for $25 or $35, maybe even $45. But if I ask for $60, they're gonna be like, no. It's like, well, I'm the one that discovered the mistake. What kind of liability do you have? Or are you just gonna blame the notary signing agent? So that's a different tangent. I know how it is to feel like you want to do your job and do a good job, and then you get blown in the corner. And sometimes a common theme is skin color. So we gotta stand up. It's not just that. There's an article about a man who was beaten in Hawaii. He had white skin, and he was harassed by some locals. And oops. Oh, I accidentally clicked on the video. Hold on. So I've been watching little snippets of my 600-pound life, and I've been seeing, trying to figure out how to get rid of I've been seeing, everything but the whole story and some editing stuff, and I feel kind of sad. I'm really wanting to promote that. I don't like that, it's bothering me. I really want to promote the prevention, and that did not help either. I really want to promote prevention. Or prevent I'm morbidly obese, and I was telling my counselor that I'm really fat and obese, and now I had gained about 15 pounds in 10 to 14 days this summer. And everyone's going around telling me how fat I am, and I'm not eating enough, and I'm not constipated enough to be gaining 15 pounds in a week. Something's up with my body. I was scared I couldn't go into CT scan. I was scared I was going to be one of those people that had a huge tumor that weighed 15 pounds. Like, I was, like, the insurance is blowing everything off. The nurse practitioner is blowing stuff off. And I got completely turned away from the urgent care center with an appointment on a Monday at like 8 a.m. or something stupid. And so I'm getting this Kohls to me message every other day, waking me up all hours of the day and night, phone calls and emails and mail. I was not in a place where I could give you a sample. So you all need to stop, or I'm going to send the kit back undone. Literally. I don't care if I have to pay for the box out of pocket. I'm not going to be harassed. Alright? You have first of all, you have to be able to use the toilet. I don't know how much the minimum sample is. Second of all, you can't have other female stuff going on and all this stuff. And so you need to stop. I'm not stupid. If you got something to say, you have a human, contact me during regular business hours, and don't be waking me up in the middle of the night. I was having nightmares that night. And calling me and stuff. And calling me at 8 in the morning, all this stuff. I'm tired of it. Like, it's getting to the point where you're like, you do that one more time, literally, I'm taping the box back, and I'm going to say refuse. And it's not going to be refused because I already opened it, so I'll end up having to pay. Just be like, forget it. And remove my insurance information, be done. You got something to say and you don't like, then you charge me for the shipping. I don't care. Actually, I do care, but you guys have rules that when and how to collect the sample, how many days that it's going to. So I was considering doing it today. It's like, it's going to go out today. Is it going to be moving tomorrow? It's going to be stuck somewhere Sunday. So my best interest would be to do it on Monday, so that you have Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday for it to get shipped without holidays and all this stuff in between. Literally, guys, come on. And first of all, you need to be able to produce a sample, and I have to work at that. This is getting real irritating. Oh, my water. I gotta go check it, because one time it didn't work. Hold on. Hi, this is Mia. I'm back. So I did rinse my stuff out. There's fruit flies in the kitchen, and I grabbed the I just set together my tea to steep my morning tea. It was raining. Looks like it stopped. Looks like the sky's clearing. I'm pretty tired. I probably could have gone back to sleep for sure. I feel like cleaning my house. So I was thinking about how people get the energy to do stuff, but a lot of people, if they have businesses or this, even if they hire a virtual assistant or an accountant or a tax person, like, every little bit counts for birthing people having assistants and backups. I feel like it's like having insurance. You'll sleep a little bit better at night, even though you don't have to deal with the just in case, or you don't have to deal with the delegation of your taxes. People keep telling me to hire a biller. I think that a biller would be the person to just submit the bills. The claim specialist would be the person who's going to do the claim and extract the information, or make sure the codes are correct. But when I get the information, if I was going to submit it to a professional or office support staff, by that point I can just push beep and it's going to go. Like, it's going to go its merry way to the company that's supposed to pay me. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. The third parties were paying me for both the loan signing and the other stuff. And I got a bunch of phone calls that's going through where the fax machine is now plugged in that I gotta call back. So I'll probably do it on Monday and say, hey, I missed a call. Because I think I had that for my notary business, and I don't know where that phone number is listed. I should probably look myself up, reverse myself. Let's talk about Thanksgiving Day. I feel sick to my stomach, not having the money, so we spent, under $50. Went in to buy a candy bar and came out with like $40-something worth of groceries. One avocado, 2 bunches of bananas. I think I bought one more produce item. I think I bought cauliflower there. I brought one more produce item because I rebought the cauliflower, and then we got some, I said, generic crackers, stuff to make lunch meat and cheese, or lunch meat and cheese to make a sandwich. And then we got that turkey breast, which is kind of a lot of money. I told myself I was gonna not buy turkey lunch meat. I was gonna buy turkey breast from what's that Albertsons over on Beaverton Hillsdale Highway in Portland. I was just gonna start make the turkey breast, then slice it, and then just serve that to my kids for their school lunch. And it was like a pain. I don't know, either they weren't available or they were too much money per pound. Because I don't even know if you get lunch meat, if that's meat like creamed and cut up and then spread out and formed back into what makes it look like a slice, you know what I'm trying to say, like a hot dog made into a loaf and then sliced or something. So chemically, you can see chemically separated chicken and all these different things. So I think that there's some turkey breast meat that really is turkey breast, but still got that translucent look to it, which is when you get a regular turkey sandwich from a regular turkey, it's like white or dark meat. It's not see-through. And then all the additives, so we're paying for that solution, that 15%. So besides bones and fat, they're injecting it with water to make it way more, and I do not like that. And it's not even just like salt water or cornstarch on it, sorbitol, and all this sweeteners. So I don't even know how people that are on a strict diet or have allergies can even eat something. I don't know how people went to a place and, like, somebody yesterday that communicated with my partner had their own turkey that they raised and slaughtered, and that was probably some good food there. But we didn't want to intrude on people. So nothing was really planned out. Like, it's kind of like an afterthought, same day kind of thing. So it was pretty uneventful. I told you I was eating mushrooms. Today is Black Friday, and I feel sick normally, and because of the day, Cyber Monday, I want to cry. I don't like getting all these emails, and they're all about these deals. And remember when emails started doing Black Friday deals year-round? Aren't celebrating this, and you're getting all this messages, notifications, and text. What about prepping? What about, I saw a family, it was a white couple, appeared white, and I was getting ready to leave the store and got the nuts and the vegetables. But figured I might as well eat something besides mushrooms. So I don't have the money to pay for this. It's all on the credit card. But I said, might as well do it before this chaotic time of year. Get you some salad and some cauliflower, and found the nuts here. That it's hard to find nuts at a shelf in the stores outside of this time of year. So I didn't even have a coupon for this stuff, which is sad. But I see this people go to an SUV, and there's a car, and there's a little kid hopping around, and I see the couple stop and like hug and kiss each other or whatever, and then they started putting all their groceries in the cart or in the trunk that had an automatic button, and the back rose up, and just seeing their cart full in the top and in the bottom, I thought, man, they're rich. And thinking about the prepping and survival videos where people say people are being attacked, be careful if you're going to the store, don't go by yourself. Someone's going to look and see at a Target because you have money to get a grocery cart, a full grocery cart. Even a bag of groceries is a ton of money. I mean, you can carry this stuff out under one arm for $50, and I'm not talking about luxury items, lobster and steak and, this best pre-stuffed mushrooms and pre-cooked deli meat. No, I'm talking about just simple bananas, a little bit of vegetable, a little bit of nuts, a little bit of, the cheapest type of protein you can get so you don't feel like you're going to die of protein malnourishment. But anyways, I say, oh yeah, that's what people look at. It's like I'm not a criminal, but my mind's aware that they have the funds to do that. And the only time I've been able to do that was credit, or we got like a chunk of money and we blew it fast. Stocking up. We better get the bottled water. We better get this. We better get the spices, the toilet paper. So we have a little money. Let's get it on stuff that we're gonna need. Let's get it now while the price is lower, because it just goes up and the demand goes down and people start fighting over stuff. And then I was like, oh, these people are white, young, have this SUV, everything's clean and shiny. And it's like, oh, those white women are lucky because they find a guy that takes care of them, or vice versa, or the world takes care of them and they get a job, whatever level, anything that I could do, but they're going to get paid at least twice as much per hour as me per year, with less qualifications. It's like, I feel like society rewards that, and their families reward that type of couple, and that having a white child. And I felt heartbroken because I went to the park. It's not that close, and I had to be careful about my ankle. And this white woman was staring at me, and this other woman, they were taking up the whole sidewalk. The bike, they were talking really loud, and they had a dog rolling all over the place. So I was like, I'm gonna walk to the grass, because there's a path and an exercise trail, and there's water that you can, it's beautiful, and there's woods with a bunch of birds and stray cats and squirrels running around, and there is a waterfront. You can go stand on the sand, but I didn't. Last time we went, before I got injured, the steps were wobbly. There's rocks with stuff propped up under them. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to end up falling down here with my ankle like this. So I, by myself, screaming, ow! I was like, no, it's not worth it. And so I didn't go down to the water, which is sad, but I'm in the car and I'm finishing up some stuff because I was on a Zoom meeting, and these people are staring me down. When I get out, I found the shiny, like, kind of mirrored sunglass clip-ons, so I got that on, like a bundle up, and they're both staring at me. So when two people are talking, they're loud white women, gossiping, and I was like, none of my business. I'm not gonna. If you weren't walking the sidewalk and you weren't in there breathing all over the place, I would be like a normal person. I don't like walking the grass if I don't have to. There's dog poop. There's dog poop on the sidewalk too, but I want to walk on the trails. If it's my yard, I don't want people trampling and driving on my grass, making it all die. But they're literally blocking the sidewalks. Nobody can get by them. So I go around through the pavilion and go get on the sidewalk, and they're staring at me the whole time. The lady who was facing the other lady was looking back at me, like, and I'm just looking at him back. Why can't you go into a park and get out in a small town and have someone glance at you and be like, "Hi, happy Thanksgiving, and nice day today, isn't it?" Why do you have to be like that to me? And it made me feel so sad, and I was out there with the squirrels, the fat squirrels, and the water, and somebody was doing, like, it was only like 11 something, somebody was doing yard work with the forklift. I don't know what they were using. I was like, really? On Thanksgiving? If I was your neighbor, I'd be so annoyed. That would be, like, so loud and annoying. I was driving back and somebody was in the street. Some woman was using the blower, and she had a bunch of neighbors. And I was like, that would also annoy me. Imagine just sitting down with your family and somebody's out there with a leaf blower just blowing the yard. Like, I don't know. When I was a kid, maybe that's part of the problem. We used to rake with this quiet thing called a rake. in some trash bags that we fill up instead of just blowing them into neighbors and then waiting in the neighbor blowing back into your yard, and then you're just, everything smells like gas from your blower or using an electric grid. It's none of my business. I don't own a yard right now, so what can I say about these people? But we're trying to be quiet on Sundays and holidays and evening times. I don't like when people are doing a bunch of work Saturday mornings. Like I said, there's people that work 20 hours a day. So these people try to ruin my holiday. I was all alone. Last year, one of the holidays, I walked a different trail by myself and saw these old couples holding hands, and it was such a lonely feeling to have 8 billion people in the world and to not have anybody to hang out with. When I did the dinner with my kids, I would make the dinner and cook and clean and do everything on my own and be really happy and tired and wake up 6 in the morning exhausted, and they'd say, can we eat in our rooms? So give them a plate and they eat in their rooms and maybe come in for seconds, but I'm basically sitting there by myself in the house, just a lonely single mom. And you could say, well, you should have forced the kids to eat at the table. Well, the table is probably a mess. Food's drying out, everybody's hungry. Let's just chill. There was a year that we watched Call the Midwife from the library, DVDs, and that was nice. It's not like you guys would have sitting around that formal table, all nice and set with the fall orange flowers and all this nice stuff. People bringing pies. People actually having a place to walk because they're not like hoarders. We watched this 600-pound life, and I hoard fat that I've gained 50 pounds. I lost 90-something pounds, so I'm closer to the highest weight than the lowest weight. So the counselor can't see past here. It's like you could tell by my fat arms, but my hips and my belly is really fat, and it's 100% raw food diet, regular exercise. I don't know what else to do. When I was a child, I had eating disorders, and the only thing that you could do was have an eating disorder, which was anorexia and bulimia, and I'm like, that's not a place that I need to go. That's why I really hate having stomach aches, because my bulimia was not binge and purging, it was just like purge, and a lot of it was severe stomach aches. So I'd be eating my dinner, and I'd feel okay, and I'd eat a salad with salad dressing, and I'd start feeling really sick. And I made it easy after dinner to, and I feel so bad. Like, I never once I've addressed this in counseling multiple times. I haven't even had a chance to tell my primary care provider. That's a lot when you're a child who started puberty at age 5 and 6, and you gain hips and thigh fat and all this stuff, and you're punching your legs because they're fat and you hate it. And your parents are limiting your food intake because they want you to not gain another pound. So your parents are influencing, giving you small bits of food. You go to the library at psych class and find out there's books about anorexia nervosa and who's that singer who's got the Christmas songs, the Carpenters or something, Karen Carpenter or something. Like, reading her autobiography or biography. These people saying how they control their life by not eating. I'm an eater, so I was trying to control my eating by not eating, exercising at school and at home, like sports, and had every kind of exercise equipment and cable, ESPN, running the stairs, get a gym, home gym for my birthday or for Christmas, and then being bulimic on regular quantities, even water. Trying to find out about laxatives, and I didn't think to buy them. I probably took one from my grandma or something. I'll try to learn about something I found in her cupboard, and nobody wants to adjust. They use vitamins. My dad said that's the only time in your life where you ever look good. being a skeletal 120 something who just had 2 children, just nursed, and just having these deflated breasts. It's just embarrassing, guys. I just feel sick that there's no help. They reward you for your near-death body, but when you gain and lose and get old and have menopause and have flabby skin, and even when I was down in 120, you have so much fat and loose skin. Right now it's full of fat again, but before, in 2018 and 2019, it was just, you get folds of loose skin when you lose 97 pounds of weight. And people can qualify for skin removal surgery. So people don't care. They just want to judge you. They don't want to say, do you have an eating disorder? They want to educate you about, you need to stop eating fast food and big gulps every day, and sweet coffees that are 1,500 calories each. You don't tell them I'm eating 2 handfuls of nuts, zucchini, lettuce salad, once in a while eat some carrots. Drinking spring water. I do the occasional tea. I try to do 2 cups of tea a day. More lemonade than in the summer, like a cup of tea or 2 and then some lemonade, and then at night sometimes I'll do unsweetened tea. To get like 100 or 200 calories of honey, which you could say is a lot. That could be my problem. I hadn't even been eating bananas every day. You should end up with them and they start going bad. It's a bit like I just ate a half a banana and put the rest in the fridge. Apples, dry apples, just cut apples, put in a dehydrator, nothing on it, no sweetener, nothing. Cut out salt. So a lot of spices, non-salted, non-sweetened. There's no chemical, like there could be chemicals, but no silicone dioxide, no. But the spice that's not like the mix that has the corn, starch, and all that filler. You look at your spices, and people say, oh, it's garlic salt from Costco. I think I had this issue, and you look at it, and it's got a bunch of ingredients. It's got like 50 ingredients, and corn solids, and corn syrup, and all this stuff that I'm allergic to, We have a manual, semi-manual laundry, so I'll do these. You can't see the ceiling, you can't reach up to do a lot of stuff, so I try to do what I can in the doorway, and maybe punch out and do the exercises that I can remember from physical therapy. And I have some hand weights. You can even do these without hand weights. It has some hand weights and a resistance band. Taking the walks, doing the chores. I've been laying around a lot. I'm wondering if I have long COVID, because I am abnormally exhausted. And I stated that last time. I had really bad fatigue. Nobody cares, so you can go around telling someone you weigh 177 pounds. You need to stop eating Big Macs and chicken McNuggets. It's like, I haven't eaten anything like that in, I don't know, countless amount of years. I'm gonna really cut gluten. I'm gonna go somewhere and get a hamburger with lettuce wrap. So I'd still eat meat sometimes. So it's really anemic. So nobody's doing nutritional tests. Nobody's doing a food diary. Nobody's asking, what's a typical breakfast? Some tea with some fruit, half a serving of fruit, just because I feel so hungry. I feel like I need some carbs, some glucose, get the blood sugar up, feel like lightheaded, exercise level. I missed my walk yesterday, or I missed counting it. Okay, so we'll move on. So we talked about Thanksgiving. There's the panda photographer. I'll put today's weight in. The panda photographer said that he got on the subway earlier. There's a bunch of homeless people on the also I need to do color guard. Well, everything just got spelled wrong. Monday. Here's something. He said a bunch of homeless were sleeping on the train and that they didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving dinner. I ordered food for myself because I was sick and having a hard time with my leg and this long COVID or whatever, and the severe fatigue. I had 2-3 weeks of menstrual bleeding, like heavy, and they say change the pad every hour and leaking through all the pants. So I finally have been going through and rinsing and scrubbing the mess I made in all my clothes. We don't have a washer and dryer, so I had to semi-manually just keep washing the stuff in the sink and try to soak it. And you go to a laundromat, they don't have a sink for you to go and scrub up. I mean, nobody wants to share someone's blood. You have an appropriate sink with like you had one at home, utility sink or bathroom sink, where you could soak stuff and rinse it and put I forget what brand. It's a natural enzyme or something. I don't know if it's actually enzyme, but some kind of stain remover with a bristle. That's something I got off Vitacost. I'm trying to think of the brand because I like this brand. It's E-Clover, I call it. It might not be, but I call it E-Clover. So it looks like this, and it's got a pink top and a clearish white bottle. And then you peel the top, it's got bristles, so the liquid will come out and do it underneath the kitchen sink, get it wet. And I like to rinse everything real well before putting the cap back on, shake off the excess moisture. So I got a couple of these. So what do? I want to cancel my World Vision sponsored child. The $35 I could use to go get myself some food for the holiday. And I spent the $35 on myself, my partner, my kids, and some child, all on credit. So I'm pretty much screwed. You see it my way. I should have just bought myself the food, or my kids have money. We're all going to have to pull our money, to tell you the truth, but we're not going to get the money back from the sponsored child. I need to be sponsored myself. I need to get out of debt myself, so I need to have a real conversation with God about putting a pause on this, because it's getting to be too much. Every $30-something you put times 3 is another 100. Every 100 times 10 is another 1,000 on your credit card, and it doesn't take much, like I said, to come out of a grocery store with a couple things of bananas, a gallon of water, and a couple things. Prices of stuff at Walmart used to be the cheapest place. Where can you go? The regular stores. They did this with health food. Health food used to be cheap and clean, and the store brand and name brand used to be high and not as clean. And these people raised their prices and got low quality ingredients, and the name brands lowered their prices and got simple ingredients. And you're like, okay. So I shifted my kids' food, and when I lost my jobs, and they kept saying this doesn't taste right, and people sold out, and they didn't use the same quality ingredients, and the kids could taste it before I read the label. I got suckered into paying. I tried to get some cheaper meat. I remember at Wild Oats or Whole Foods, and cheaper sausage, and I was getting bone. I was about breaking off my teeth. I did that with raw crackers too. I literally busted my tooth. I have a piece of tooth. I should probably have addressed that with the dentist. And I saved the package forever to be like, dude, I broke my tooth off with your, because I bit on a rock, literally a rock. It's like, I'm opening my own business. So what do you do when there's people that are exploiting me because I pledged something over 10 years ago and I'm too scared to cancel it? And what do you do when you rather give to yourself by getting out of debt so that you can build wealth by owning property or getting a mortgage for property, paying less per month, including the interest, insurance, and taxes, and with the mortgage than you would renting a place that's 10 times smaller and crappier than the one you're buying? What do you do when you're wishing you could get a handout, but you're not wanting to be a beggar because you're working and you're not getting paid for your work? Like I said, with the notary, the doctor job, the insurance said, oh, we're going to pay you. You billed $500, we're going to pay you $100 for the first visit. The second visit, I always charge less. The initial visit is always more. It's like any remainder visit from this patient, they're going to pay what, $40? They pay, and they had the patient out of pocket for costs. This is sad. I don't even know where the money is. I don't have it. So what do you do when you wish you got your money because you had to pay to lease a room to see the patient? You had to pay insurance and like hundreds of dollars. You got more than one license, hundreds of dollars to pay for your medical license. You got to pay how much per month for liability and malpractice insurance to see the patients. You're low volume and they're not going to pay you. They say, oh, you're a naturopath. You're not an MD, so we're going to pay you less. Oh, you're not a network. Oh, this. We don't feel like paying you. But we'll pay your counselor. 100%. We'll pay you. You know, so I need a miracle with that. Black Friday deals. I usually don't have the money. I was borrowing money for many years to go to school because my jobs required me to have childcare, and paid for childcare for 2 kids was more than the amount of money I was making per day. It's about double, or the same, or double. So I said, if I'm going to work full time, put my kids in childcare, I'm going to need to get a credit card to pay the childcare, and that's not it. Like, I need to use the money from my job to pay the rent, the car, the insurance, food, everything. You try to wean yourself off the system. You get a job and your rent goes up because it's subsidized, and you got $12 left over every 2 weeks, and you're using that $12 to pay for gas to get to and from work. And you gotta stop by the food pantry one of those nights home to get. I did that in Northeast Portland, was at the Lutheran church, next to our Lutheran church, to get some overwrought food, and you end up, you got the job because your rent went up and you lost any food stamps, Medicaid, and any other subsidy. So people are smart and they don't work, or they work a really low paying part-time job to fulfill the needs of the system, or they straight get disability. Oh, we can't work. We can do everything else. We can clean our house. We can join all these calls, volunteer 7 days a week. But we're not going to work for money because we want free money. And people say they have medical disabilities. Like, man, you're doing way better than I am with everything in your life, including volunteering. It's so sad. The people that need the help aren't getting help. So people will turn their nose at people that are chronically or not chronically homeless or struggling. And there's not any mental health support. You try to get into counseling, you get into counseling, wait on a wait list, and you end up not getting help with the stuff that you need help with, because the people, either they're overworked and they shut off and they don't pay attention. They're still looking at their phones, pretending that they're not. And then you say something like on Jane on that superhero show about what your parents did to you, how you were assaulted, and then they look up and say, oh, I don't know what to say. And I'll be like, I know you don't know what to say because you were just playing with your phone, trying to pretend you weren't. And then I get overwhelmed and sick, crying, get arguments. So, like, I just open a Pandora's box with, like, counseling session, and someone's not even listening. So, of course, they're not trying to. I feel like you could sit as a counselor, therapist, to cross your hands over your thigh and be like, so what can you do now that we've opened that Pandora's box of emotion with this? How does it feel to talk about it? What are you going to do? Let's take some deep breathing. Let's remember that we're in the here and the now. Can you write in your journal? Can you attend a meeting? Can you go do something creative? Or like, I feel like women can be instinctually, I feel like this, especially as a kid with my hormones, I was nurtured in nature and wanting things to be beautiful, wanting a room to be beautiful, wanting my hair and the clothing to be flowy. Like, I see things on TV where someone's wearing a flower dress or something. I'm just like men would look at and be like, oh, look at that woman, she's hot, I'm excited. Me, I'm like, oh, there's some guy that's an actor, they get paid for being good looking, but I see this dress, or I see this dresser, or I see this garden, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh, I'm mad that I can't have that garden. Like, oh my gosh, I know this is Hollywood, but oh, like, and then my partner would say, you're so jealous of these pretty women. I was like, these women are being paid to be on my TV because someone told them that they're, 102, 5'10" body with their long hair and their light eyes and light skin. You're beautiful, you're going to get paid to be beautiful, you just need to speak. So you took acting classes when you were a kid, so you know how to speak and memorize things. Good job. Here's your million, first million, second million, good job, And then they want to call us people that don't look like that jealous. When I'm looking at her dress, or because I'm who I am with my hormones, thinking of the love story and the friendship and being like, wow, people can have community and go and have weddings and parties with the rest of their town, and people of all different nationalities and races can come together as a group and celebrate the joy of somebody's, thingy, what you call when you put it, a wedding, a graduation, a birth of a child, So I watched a movie, and a man could see these women with their cleavage sticking out and their tight clothes, and go on the street, and these women see me walking with my white boyfriend, and they bend over and stick their butts in his face, and the man's getting aroused. But in my mind, it's like, I want the nesting, I want to make it clean and beautiful, and I want to wear these clothes and jewelry. It's a dreary day, and Mia wants to go out wearing these bright orange flowers and this sparkly jewelry and say, hello, neighbor, won't you be my neighbor? And people look at me like, you ain't from around, get out, you N-word. Like, and I'm just like, see, I watch these movies, not sitting here thinking that I'm trying to do my hair and my skin color like these people. It's just never gonna happen, okay? Even when I was young, if I wasn't beautiful, no matter what race I was, it just steers you, for me, into academics. It's like there's other people that are gonna get it, just like with the separation we got from the bookstore when the pretty girls got the register, and me and my friend, she was pretty, but she was dressed like a hippie, and I was black. They put us with the boys over on books, carrying heavy books, out in the warehouse and up in the attic with no air conditioning in the middle of summer. The machines, the heavy parts, not the glamour job. The one where they got lots of breaks, they got paid more probably. It was all blondes. And maybe they could have had other applicants that might not even got the job. So me and my friend who were hippies, we were probably cute. I don't know, we were cute. Most people are when they're 19. But I keep hearing something. I was looking at sterling silver on Shop Goodwill, and that's the only thing I'm going to look at. I don't have the money to buy it. I got to send a $600-something check back to an insurance company for an overpayment. I don't know what I did with my billing, but I might not have made as much of a mistake as I thought. I overcharged for the extra 15 minutes. I got to do the additional billing for that before the money runs out. So it is what it is. I don't want to buy anything, but I know my neighbors who are from a different country. They went, them and other people in the community near Washington Square Mall in Portland. They went to the mall and they bought the stuff on sale at the JCPenney and kitchen appliances and all this clothes. And my neighbors would buy things they want for their kids, a drawing tablet, um, clothes and shoes. My one friend who is also a single mom, she spent the morning standing outside Fred Meyer getting socks for her boys. She had 3 boys, and they're athletes, at least two. And I could see, like, if you need, say, a blender, or you need a guy underwear or socks, or you really want to get a gift for a child, like earbuds or something, I could see saying, hey, let's go out on Black Friday, or let's order it, because I was like listening to Dave Ramsey and thinking about getting stuff in advance and all this stuff about not having credit. And so I didn't have any money during one of the back to school sales for my kids. You know, when they're selling spiral bound notebooks for 15 cents each, stuff like that, or 30 cents for this pack of big pins, and you know, all this stuff for real deal. And I didn't have money, so I also said Dave Ramsey saying I'm not going to use credit. So I didn't have my student loan, which was also credit, but I wasn't going to use my credit card to get the school supplies. And I said, you know what, when they go back to school, I'll drop them off and I'll come and get some school supplies. And I was a student too, so office supplies. And by golly, all the prices went up. From being like 50 cents or buy 2, get 2 free, all this stuff. Everything ended up to $3. And I think the clothing and the socks and school supplies, the backpacks and everything went from, like, let's just fill our cart. People would just fill their cart, oh, we can get a bunch. And then now it's like the price is 1,000%. I said, oh, that was stupid. You listened to this guy. You would have been better off using a credit card, getting your 15-cent school supplies, fill up what the kids need on their list, get stuff for your office, get stuff that won't dry up or leak, like the pens, get erasers and stuff that you can have, big pencil, and sticky notes and stuff like that, and have it in your office. So I feel like an idiot for now. Also, still using credit, but now paying 1,000 times more. I was like, this Dave Ramsey guy does not live in reality. He's a multimillionaire, and he got rich having shows and selling stuff. I bought so much stuff from him that didn't work. CDs for kids didn't play. I bought a Will packet, just a whole bunch of stuff that just junk, stuff that broke. The envelope system falls apart. It's just paper. Just so. And then when I graduated, I accepted my student loan. So I was like, this seems counterintuitive. But I said I had to work, pay a babysitter. I was working some evenings. I was paying the stupid drop-in childcare center. It was a nightmare. It was the worst nightmare. I'm not even gonna lie. My boyfriend would get mad for bringing up old stuff and putting my kids in the daycare that I paid for and the state paid for, and never changing my kid's diaper 8 hours, come home with the diaper dripping all over. We were in a homeless shelter, and then I took him out because they didn't change his diaper. And the audacity of these people to send me a bill for like $200 saying I didn't pay. I got every month they send me in the mail how many hours I had, and that was 100% paid in full, that I owe nothing. And then I went in, I said, I don't owe anything. Everything is paid. And she goes, if you ever want to, I'm going to send you to collections. If you ever wanted to use our services again, you better pay. And I paid. And she got double paid for no work. The state should have asked for a refund. You don't take care of that kid, you don't get money. It was called Grandma's Place, and this lady was a jerk. I want to cuss, but I can't. I don't want to. You get screwed over. So what do you do if you really need earbuds because you're doing telehealth as a doctor and you need to have everything in your ears and not in the microphone or not in the speaker? Or you don't have the the stuff I have is all broken up. So what do? Well, your profession requires you to have this to be HIPAA compliant or to be, um, yeah, personal PHI. It doesn't matter, personal preference. You want to have a thing that works. All my earbuds that I've tried to use on my Zoom meetings haven't been working. And then one that I've been using, it pushes the buttons. This is a long enough video, I'm gonna cry. But I wish that I wasn't in debt. I wish that I made the money that I'm supposed to earn as a doctor, whether I work. If I'm not purposely saying I'm only going to see 2 patients a week, because what's going on is the patients aren't hiring me, or I'm calling them back and they're not recognizing my phone number. So it's a holiday weekend, so we're just going to catch up. But what happens when you want to work and see 15 patients a day, say, and you have mental health issues, ADHD, untreated depression, all this stuff, and you're like, how do I do it? This is an accommodations. This is American Disabilities Act disability. And it's not being addressed, and if you're self-employed, what you have to give yourself accommodations, but it's not like you're with a company and they're going to give you an aid, or it's like if you have a body ache, they give you anti-fatigue mat and stuff they provide, or you get a doctor's note and you're allowed to bring your own. You know what I'm trying to say about that? So it's like, there's no help, and you're telling your boyfriend you want partial disability because you're struggling, both of us, and it's just a regular day disability. Slow, like if you're injured or you have paralysis or something, you take a longer time to get somewhere, it's harder. Doctor's appointments and all this stuff. Me, I was greedy and selfish. And he said, oh, I thought I stopped being around greedy people, but being with you, and I don't think, if you half your day is spending helping yourself and other family members with their disability, when the health providers don't, and insurance doesn't cover it, then you're just hanging on by a string. You're about to lose everything. You're about to go into homelessness. So there's people I know as a doctor, even that disability, and I wish they did get up and work. They said they went to work and they didn't like it, so they quit. And then they're gonna talk to their PCP about how they still need to be disabled so they can get free money for 80 years of their life. And it's not up to me to determine, because I'm not the person who's prescribing or diagnosing that condition. But there's a lot of stuff you can do when you do so much for yourself. The thing is, you come into my house and you realize that I'm not doing everything because I'm overburdened, underpaid, and it's impossible to hire help for your home or help for your office until you get a certain income level. So when there are programs out there that are designed to help small business owners, it's not that we're just, oh, give us free money and certain people get free money. It's like the people that are making a lot of money get the money and the grants and the resources. And look at where that money's spent. Is it being spent on condos in the Bahamas? Is it being spent on new cars and new office furniture? They could say it's for the office. They could say, oh, that condo is for employees to, they could say all they want. But what about the fact that they're making, $200 million a year and they're a small restaurant in a small town? What about somebody who's a person of color trying to provide medical services to all people and be inclusive and not participate in the disparity and the poor treatment of people of color and people of underserved populations, like homelessness, and people living with HIV or stigmatized professions and behaviors, or even body weight? So people like me got declined for all of the funding. Even a loan. $500 loan. Even some that I could use to actually get a regular website, like even as a cheaper one, or pay for the fees for a website that looks good, better than my Weebly one, and pay for some flyers to be made. or pay to go do a consult with a business coach. $100, that's cheap, like $250. Like, you don't get that. And then you see who's getting the businesses and buying up the buildings, and buying up the land, and buying up the waterfront properties, and the yachts, and the luxury cars. And most of those people look the same complexion to me. And they're not all. People say, oh, my relatives were Mexican, my relatives were Arabs, this and this and this, and they bought gas stations, and they bought this restaurant, made tortillas, and they died with millions of dollars in the bank account. Came from nothing. I was like, yeah, and you also had this, you talk about your family, and your uncles, and your mom and dad, and how supportive and loving they were. That's something that I don't have. And I know people that are immigrants, they pull their money when somebody's down or loses a job, they pull their money and they pay the person's rent. Especially, I've seen it more than once, where the people lose their job and get laid off, and the welfare won't support them, the food stamps in the unemployment, saying no. Either you didn't work enough or you work too much. And these people have a history of working continuously. They're not trying to be those people that, especially these people I'm talking about, African in descent. They're not trying to be like these people that say, I'm going to watch soap operas and order pizzas all day while my kids in school and get free everything. I mean, these people also know how to get the Thanksgiving dinner and all the Christmas presents for the kids. I can never once figure out how to get the Christmas presents for my kids or the Thanksgiving dinner. So you think about that if somebody around you or at your church or in your 12-step meeting, if they're sitting around like me and they're trying to rush and keep your clothes that you got on clearance, your $3, $2 tank tops and bras, and $6 pairs of pants that you got on credit, and then you took bottles back to pay off your credit card, and you look like you have it together and you really want to help others, and every institution that's supposed to help you driving through the food pantry, we said we had kids, so they didn't ask where they were. Do you help support your kids? Yeah. They don't give you the box that has the butter and the cheese that's not expired. If they got somebody coming up in a brand new $60,000 vehicle, it's not, maybe they borrowed it. Maybe they're getting a ride. Maybe that's their caregiver or something. I doubt it. And they're dressed to the T, and they're getting the whole back of their vehicle filled with boxes of all the stuff they won't give. Oh, what about that stuff there? Oh, you don't get that. You get this expired stuff, and you get this stuff that me, I can't eat. Alright. So what do? The least you can do is be friends with someone and say hi. Don't look and stare them down and give them dirty looks. What do? It doesn't matter our skin color, religion, belief, this and that, whether we live on the street and haven't taken a shower in 3 months or 30 years. There's another human being, and I feel like fate and luck and who knows about reincarnation. Wait, situation you could find yourself in. The story, I think, it's not the story of Lazarus. It's the story of that other dude that would throw crumbs down for the dogs, and his servant had to just fight the dogs for these crumbs. And this guy was super wealthy, and this other guy was hungry, and the rich guy died first. And he says, this is in the Bible, at least, he goes to hell, he goes, at least let my servant give me a drop of water. Hell is a nightmare. I'm so parched and thirsty. One drop of water for my servant. And it was like, nope. Treated that person. It's like people that eat one bite of their hot dog and throw it away, and then homeless, or you don't even have to be homeless, someone who's starving pulls that out and eats it, or old milk or something. What if next time you went and bought a pack of hot dogs instead of that, and maybe you heated them, maybe you got some deli cold chicken, 5-piece, 6-piece little chicken on sale the next day, 7 a.m. at Frontliner, instead of buying a hot dog for $8 that you just threw away. someone's eaten after you, after the birds pooped in the garbage and the squirrels, and if you go to the store and get $4 discount chicken boxes, and you fresh take it to somebody on the street and give it to them, say, hey, have a good day. And maybe they're like me, they don't eat it, and beggars can't be choosers. And maybe you can go and give it to your friends, or your partner, or your kids. Or maybe you just eat it because you're that hungry and you don't care about your allergies. I mean, I gave a guy begging an apple, and he goes, what the hell am I going to do with it? Like, he was so mad, he started screaming and yelling at me. And it was my lunch, that's all I had. I told you I was homeless when I was going to college at Portland State. I didn't have money. He was standing outside of 7-Eleven. I wasn't going to 7-Eleven buying anything. We're barely paying our rent with the loan money. And they look at you, when you get your loan money refund, they look at it when you have services, and they see, well, why do you have $3,000 in your account? Oh, well, because I gotta pay for classes, my parking pass, I have to buy my books. This is, 3,000's a lot. Usually it wasn't 3,000, but you know what I mean. Like, why do you have $1,000? They could put the money in your account, and then you still have to go pay your tuition or whatever, fees and all that stuff. Peace, guys. I might start another video after tea time. Bye.